Welcome to the Strategic Oracle, the transmission space where timing meets soul and wealth begins with the rhythm. Let's begin. Candy, I am so excited to have you here. So I'm already getting ungrounded because you are a fellow intuitive visionary and you wanted to pull me in how we met, but we're going to do a proper introduction first because we want to ground ourselves. Do you have a crystal or something that's grounding you? I know you're standing so that your feet can ground.
Yes, I do. Is there a particular one you want me to have?
No, just anyone, because right now we just need to ground.
Can I grab my pendulum?
Perfect. Pendulum is perfect. Okay. So as we get started, I'm going to introduce you to Candy Barone. She's amazing. She does human design in a way that is for that rebellious leader, for that person who wants to shift and change, who know that they're made for more, who want to walk into their full potential. And so it sounds familiar to what I do, but I do it through the stars. And yet an experience with Candy is completely different than the experience with me. And that's what I simply adore about coming together with people that in this new era, we need legions of people taking that stance of, we could either say soul-led leader, intuitive leader, visionary rebel. I mean, I think with you, Candy, it's interchangeable. And I'm so glad to have you on the podcast because we can talk about all the things.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. And I have to say, when I got your invitation, I just literally had all the feels and my eyes watered. And I'm like, I'm so honored to play in this space with you because I love, and you're right, there is a space for all of it and we need all of it right now. And so I am super lit up to be here with you today.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And so before we hit record on this, Candy and I were talking about whoa, Star Peak Nirvana here. So that's going to be coming up in the episode, which will be really great. And for those of you listening, yes, I'm talking about Candy stars, but there's two things I want you to be thinking of when you're listening. Number one is how informative they can be and how practically they can be used. But number two, to imagine for yourself what an opening like that would look like and how it could influence your path forward. So before we get to all of that, though, we're going to be businessy. We're going to be properly businessy for a few minutes, right?
And here, let me button up.
I know, right? Exactly. Let me get my jacket all set, right? So we're in the new era. It is uncharted. It is unfathomable about how nothing is built. How are you experiencing that, Candy?
Oh, I have a term for this because I have literally been in what I will call the chrysalis goo. It's been, and for people that think that the caterpillar enters the cocoon and it's oh, it just goes to sleep and it comes out a butterfly, that is not what happens. It is painful. It is sticky and messy. And so I'm calling this the liminal limbo. And if you don't know what liminality is this space where you're on one timeline with a foot in it, and you've got another foot in another timeline, and there's this big open chasm or void that you're sort of trying to figure out how to brace yourself and ground yourself. I have been in liminal limbo because it has been very much this chrysalis goo that is pulling me and stressing me, stretching me, and also really challenging me to surrender all forms of what lives on that other side of that void so that I can propel and move into the quantum shift that is coming or is here so that my leadership elevates in the new consciousness in the new era. And it's been, I'm finally coming out of what has felt like hell.
Yeah.
To be honest.
To be honest. I'm being spurred to say something and being spurred for a question. So the question first, in human design, which is your forte, not mine, I'm not even going to touch it because you're the expert. And, just like you touching the stars in front of me would probably be sure, right? So fair. But what I've read is that great mutation. And that's where, going from planning to the Phoenix, and it's in 2027. Do you adhere to that same timing?
Yeah. And so I just got chills you asking that question. So yes, we tend to, and whether or not you believe in the stars, human design or not, energetically, if you look at history, we have cycles over hundreds of years where we go through these phases, these energetic phases. We have been since 1615 in this phase of cross of planning. It's been a very collective, it's been a very gathered, but also a very industrial, it's where the industrial period came through. It's very industrialized. It's very much making everything a lot of the same, and it's pushing things through to move faster and harder. It's a lot of the hustle game.
Yeah.
We are shifting in human design in February 2027, February 27, 2027. There is it's like a switch, but it's not a switch because it's an evolutionary shift. It doesn't like happen overnight. And we're going through the burning down of what needs to happen because we're moving into the cross of the sleeping phoenix. If you know anything about a phoenix, the phoenix rises through the ashes, which means we need to create the ash, which is what's happening. The pandemic actually started this.
Exactly.
That we are burning down the systems and the narratives and the even energetic dynamics of how we relationally connect to each other. All of that's going away so that this phoenix, which is a more individualized, very grounded, when I take care of me, all is taken care of, divine feminine energy is coming through. We're all kind of in that chrysalis goo right now because it's
100%.
literally getting our phoenix individually and collectively ready for the rise. And yes, I subscribe to that. I can feel it. I can see it mapped in human design. When I work with younger kids,
Yeah.
I see the new consciousness and the new emotional intelligence because we're going through another mutation where the last mutation took us from being 7-centered beings to 9-centered beings. 2 of our chakras split.
Mhm.
We are now going to see some splits in our circuitry, which further take us away from the animal kingdom and the mammalian and creates an whole nother entity of human consciousness that is a more elevated, like quantum. All of that's what's under play right now.
Which is so exciting, right? Like, and then we're gonna dive into all of that. First, I wanna just say, because I remember I said I have a question and then I have a statement. Statement for me, when Candy's talking about that goo, for me, I feel like it's like manifolds of time, that like the time is just kind of like not really connecting, and you feel like things that worked before don't work, and you feel like things that should work and be easy are all of a sudden now this big thing. So I have an example of this. This is exactly what it looks like in my life. So I got a executive suite for my mailing address because of an SEO project that I've been doing. SEO and Google want me to have a physical address instead of a PO box. Fair. Okay, great. I can close my PO box. I can get an address, just change the mail for business to go from that mailbox to that executive suite. Easy peasy, right? Doesn't it seem to see it really easy? Yeah. Okay. Absolutely not. So what ended up happening is I started not getting my personal mail. Things started getting missing. I wasn't sure why. Going around the neighborhood, maybe there was a mailman on vacation, maybe there was a misdirection, whatever. Oh no, my personal mail started going to my new business executive office. Why? We don't know. There's no reason. Don't worry. It ended up being something that they couldn't fix. They didn't know how to fix it. No one knew how to fix it, but it was fixable. So I think I fixed it, but now we don't know. Like literally, that's what it looks like. A very practical application. It doesn't feel like this major, like I'm in the chrysalis, I'm going to die. But what it does feel like sometimes is like it's my last nerve, right? Like I needed this. I have a book launch coming up, everybody. Like I have like, oh, and by the time this airs, that will be just 2 weeks old. But right, like I mean, this is a big deal. You birth a book, which by the way is an entire thing, and then that work just begins at that point. So I'm telling everybody, I feel like I'm running 3 races at the same time. I've got my normal clients and all the things. And that's happening. We've got this evolution that's going on, and I'm keeping up with future trends of my podcast, with these interviews, with all the things. And then I've got the book. I'm running 3 races right now. I don't have time to go with the effery of where's my mail.
Right. Right. Well, what's crazy about that, and 100% true. And it's the space of I'm doing all the things, yet why am I so tired? And why do I feel like I'm in like this weird? I've been astroplaning, and for any of you that don't know what that is, like literally jumping timelines and traveling in my sleep. That I know that without a doubt, I will feel like I slept for 10 hours. I have gone to bed at 11. I'm like, holy crap, it's time to get up, and I look and it's 1:09.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I slept like I was Rip Van Winkle that went to sleep for like 25 years, came down. I'm like, where was I? I've had things like show up, even like little scars and things. I'm like, where was I and what was I doing? Because something was at play, but like you can actually feel like you're in these different timelines moving at the same time. But the littlest of things can all of a sudden be like, why doesn't that work? And it's
Exactly.
no reason. And the more you try to resist it and force it, the more you're in you're just stuck in quicksand going nowhere. And you're like, surrender.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let that go too. I don't know why, but like yesterday it worked, and today all of a sudden I've been having technology issues all week. I'm like,
Everybody is
why is
asking me to do
retrograde again? And is Mercury jacking with me? Because seriously, what is going on this week?
it's because honestly, yes, I get more questions from more people about, is Mercury perpetually retrograde? And I'm like, it's not Mercury, it's Uranus. Uranus is changing signs. It's a big deal. And as Candy, said with the mutation in 2027 example, it's yes, July 7th, 2025 is technically the day that Uranus is moving into Gemini. We're feeling it now. It's a big, huge energy, right? Like, and think about this. We've got the lightning bolt of energy moving into the sign of transportation, of connection, of communication. This is why I just answered my own question about the mail, of communication, right? Like,
Right?
about technology, like, yeah, all the things. So it's very think about like sparking, like circuitry just kind of sparking and off sparking and sparking and off sparking. That's going to be for the next handful of months. And I haven't really been talking about that because you know what, we're all dealing with too much. Let's not layer that in too.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's the other side of it, right? Because then there's the whole 3D version of us that is feeling the actual pain that's going on in the world and not, we haven't, in all honesty, in this last cross of planning, we haven't been taught how to fully manage those emotions and and figure out regulation, which is also pushing on us because we have got to, and to use, I don't know why this just dropped in, we need to learn how to grow up and like own our stuff and own our emotions because it's coming whether we want it to or not. And this way we're entering it right now, it's going to be a lot more painful than easy because we're choosing this suffering that's unnecessary. And it's
Yeah.
this ability of really recognizing we have never been taught how to take personal responsibility, accountability for our own feelings, let alone regulate what's going on. And so everybody's getting sucked in to this narrative that's just making it even more dense
Complicated.
than
Yeah.
it has. It's really dense and it doesn't need to be this dense if we would just own our own stuff and lead ourselves and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. It's that whole governing ourselves and sovereignty. And we are so not collectively close to that.
I love this. That we're going to get to your soul destiny in a minute, and it's right in line with this. But before we do that, I do want to talk a little bit about, like you and I agree. This whole new era started. My words, not yours. Technically, you were talking about the Great Mutation, but during the pandemic, I can give the date. Everybody's heard me say it before. That solstice in December of 2020. I mean, there we go. We are moving from the earthly energies of industry and production and planning to the air energies of communication and connection and, dare I say, telepathy. And like, it's going to be some really cool things and channeling and really understanding our intuition and letting our souls lead. Like, yay. What do you feel like? This is Zinger. I didn't know I was going to ask this. I'm so sorry, Candy. What do you feel like you've said yes to, and what do you feel like you're still saying no to?
Ooh, I love that question. And I will say, just to piggyback on what you said, those that don't think they've had clear senses, like clairaudient, clear vision, you're you have an opportunity to realize how clear sensitive you are. You have more intuitive powers because intuition is very much the opportunity right now. And so for me, it leads into your question, and this is twofold because I'm still in. I like to say I teach from what I need to learn myself, and I am in the process of it as we speak, learning the full art of surrender and being able to trust my intuition. I actually have gate 57 in my human design, which is a very intuitive energy. It is the most intuitive energy in the chart, and I bypass it a lot with
Ah.
reasoning or shoulding or that's really weird. And so I'm gonna throw this out there. And I know we did even on my podcast when you offered me a prompt at the end of last year, which is, am I ready to come out of the spiritual closet? That has consistently been pushing at me. And I've been given signs in multiple capacities. That's like, and I have to laugh because even one of my teachers in human design, as a Manny Gen, and you're a Manny Gen as well, she's like the two things that Manny Gen struggle with. And it was one of those, moments. Because she went surrender and patience. And she goes, because
Yeah.
here's how a Manny Gen surrenders. universe, you got till Thursday. I expect this to show up. I'm surrendering. If it's not here, I'm going to go make stuff happen. And I have to stop and pause and go,
100%.
not
100%.
we put like, we're so like, I want to be in motion. We have to be in motion.
Yeah.
Like, and so finding new pathways to allow that absolute need to be moving my body and to be creating something. I have to be doing something.
Right. Right.
And not have it be the thing that is driving how I lead, how I'm expanding, the new identity, the new place. That's been challenging. And it's been, so I've been saying yes to, and even shifted my LinkedIn profile and the business side of things based on what keeps dropping through. I am fully letting myself be in coming out of the spiritual closet. And I'm saying no to all of the things that are blocking my intuition and blocking that Clara. I am very clairsentient. I'm clair audio.
Oh, God.
My ears have been ringing so bad lately, and I've been getting messages, and
Right.
I feel things on such a I'm really letting myself be with that and
Mhm.
create different spaces where I can create move that's not connected to what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
That's been like, for me, like I said, I'm in it still. I'm learning this or expanding in this. That's been the thing for me to say yes and no to, is really all the conditioning and letting myself be in a space that's like, I don't know why. And I said this to somebody the other day when I was like, when it comes to when I'm like, oh my God, we're doing this. And then my body goes, how? And I'm like, none of my business.
100%.
Letting go of that how.
Oh, I know. Well, especially since think about the planning. The how has been the major front runner, right? Like our minds and how has been the front runner. I feel like we're both
You're both strategists. There's
right?
a how and strategy.
100%, and we're both intuitive visionaries. So we can see the big picture, and we can sense, and however we're channeling. I'm claircognizant. I just know there's nothing backing it. By the way, anybody who's claircognizant out there, I feel you, I hear you, I see you, and I know you. I have so many people that come in on sales calls, and they're saying I'm not intuitive because I don't see, or I don't hear, or I don't feel. I'm like, oh no 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 no. All claircognizants come to me because I literally even during that sales process be like, whether you work with me or not, we're dealing with this right now. This is something we are going to help you find your footing in because it's too important not to, right? So you have that just knowing you don't know how you know, right? That's the first thing. So trusting that you get feelings and senses and at least sounds and whatever, which is beautiful. Guess what I'm here to tell you?
Bring it.
This is where your stars are coming in like, pick me right now, right now. Ooh, 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 right? So there's two things happening that are really, really luscious. One is as Uranus is moving from that earthly energy that it's been in for the last 7 years since 2018 to that airy energy that is going to be in for the next 7 years until 2032. For you, it's in the 12th house. Were you aware that it was there? Okay. So it doesn't surprise me. So how open are you to becoming a circuitry of channeling?
Oh, I'm so open. I am wide open. I wouldn't have said that 6 months ago, but I am wide open. I'm not saying it anymore.
Okay. Can I give you a little tiny bit of advice?
Please.
Okay. When you're in that, whatever space that you've created, so that's the first thing, create space. I call them office hours because they're going to come. It's going to be all the time. You're talking about it between 11 and 109 and like whatever. Be like, I am open for office hours now. I am not open now because your body wants to rest. There's an embodiment piece here that's in your destiny. This is why I'm saying this. This is in your soul destiny. The other part of it is when you're downloading things, there's 3 categories for it. There's the your stuff, great, you're going to go through it, all the things. There's the someone that you know, but you may not even know them yet and you can't name them.
Mm.
And then there's the anchoring for the earth. Like me, you're going to be doing all 3 all the time. So when things come to me, the first question I ask is it mine? The second question I ask is whose is it? And then the third question I ask is it for the earth? And I just put it in the right category. So for the earth, I ask, how do you want me to anchor it? And then it's one and done. Candy. It goes like that. Sometimes your brain doesn't even remember. You're like, thank you, Lord, for just, I'll be the pass through. I'll be the conduit. No worries. Second one is it's not mine. That's what's hilarious. Talk about letting go and surrendering. You're like, like literally, I facetiously go, oh, like literally. And then I'll find that person who'll be like, I'll be on a call or I'll be in a group or I'll be somewhere. I'll be like, oh, that's who this is for. And then you find a way to gently tell them because you asked, do they want to know now? Okay, how does this want to be conveyed? And then luckily, only like a 10th or 12th of it is for you.
Mm. That's so interesting because that question has been showing up for me a lot to ask, is this mine?
Yeah.
Like, I
It's
really felt prompted. I've got chills you saying that because I really have been prompted is this mine?
yeah.
In a curious inquiry, and I immediately know yes or no if it is.
Yeah, 100%. It's like that, right? Like, so for me, what ends up happening, if it's not mine, it just lifts off. I just get lighter, especially you're clairsentient. So that's going to be a feeling for you. And I'm here also to tell you the next star that was like, pick me, pick me, pick me all like, yes, please, right on the heels of the Uranus, right? Uranus totally punched Jupiter in the face to be first, by the way. like Jupiter was like,
Sounds right in my chart. I don't know why, but that just sounds right.
there was an elbow throw from Uranus is like, dude, I'm going first. It was hilarious. So Jupiter is in Gemini right now. And at the end of May, Jupiter is going to come and sit in the face of your Saturn
Mm.
because they're in that 12th house in Gemini. So this is where that genius resides. This is where the what wants to reveal, what wants to transform. Where's that sovereignty? Where's that personal power and authority and freedom? Because that's all Gemini 12th house stuff, right? Saturn wants you to be really good at it. Saturn wants you to be so good at choosing yourself in this way all the time. Well, Jupiter's going to sit right beside Saturn and be like, yeah, and I'm going to be the good luck charm right here. So it doesn't surprise me that supports are coming in and all these beautiful messages and all these things. On the heels of that, though, we get into the second week of June, which by the time this airs, you already be in here. Jupiter has moved into Cancer.
Mhm.
There's your birthday. There's your soul karma, by the way. There's your first house. Very obvious. I love how you brought up emotions because honestly, the best chance that the entire human race has to understand and not necessarily take responsibility for, because that's not a Jupiter thing, but have support in being able to take responsibility for their emotions is our E quotient can be next level over the next year. And for you, it's first house. So it's going to be very obvious in every area of your life. It's going to be at your sun, it's going to be probably, I'm just looking at your,
I'm a Cancer sun and Cancer rising. So Cancer is a huge energy for
100% first house, like all the things. Your soul karma is in there too. So this is where feeling all the feels is one thing. It doesn't surprise me that you care clairsentient. I would have known by looking at your chart, right? But for you, like literally, when I look at your soul destiny, it is about having that mature and having that authoritative and unwaveringly committed and commanding relationship with other. Notice how I didn't add an S to that.
Yep.
It's with your soul. It's with the universe. It's with your soulmate people. You want interdependence, full interdependence of that. Where is that role modeled here on earth? Anywhere.
It's not. And what's so crazy about that, to tie this to human design,
Absolutely.
I have gate 19 that shows up 3 times in my chart in my Jupiter unconscious and conscious and my unconscious Mars. So my core wounding, all around codependency and learning how to cut ties with any form of codependency, including my identity, my business, how I work with my client, and allowing myself to be in, this is where the clairsentient, and I'm a deep empath, even though I have a defined solar plexus, is that space of, can I understand that, be sensitive to my own emotional needs so that I can create space to be sensitive to the needs of others without, and then I also have, and with my Chiron came through this energy of detachment. How can I do it in a way where I can lead from that sensitivity without being enmeshed or attached or in codependent cycles, to then help redefine leadership and power from a place that's truly interdependent?
Yeah.
And so all of that just like feels so connected when I look at the major themes in my chart. And as my Chiron returned 2 years ago, and I'm still in that energy,
Absolutely.
all of that has been, how do you let go of your need to fix, carry, attach, outcomes, whatever, and create that emotional, energetic container that allows people to feel safe, feel seen in what they need, and build these bridges for greater interdependence.
100%. And I'm gonna dive in a little bit more fully in this, is that when I look through the lens of the soul,
Mhm.
and when you get that soul equanimity, I love that word because it gives you that balance, that acceptance, that allowance, that literally when you're in that soul level, you're at the intuitive space of your higher self, whatever you want to call it, you can look down and you can be like, oh, damn, that's a little bit of a shit show down there. And ooh, look at that. And oh, that's really interesting, whatever. But you have that, I don't want to say detachment, but you have that objectivity of saying, huh, I wonder how this is going to resolve. I wonder how this is going to unwind. I wonder how this is going to become to be. It's instead of how asking how, you ask, I wonder, right? And I see that for you teaching this type of thing to all the leaders. You do realize that you're going to be teaching everybody how to deal with their emotions, right?
I'm already doing that. Yes.
Yeah.
Laugh because I mean my background's mechanical engineering, and I'll get people that says, how did you become a coach and how do you do human design? And someone just who knows me said, wow, Candy, no wonder why you love human design. It totally taps into your engineering nerd brain. I'm like, it's an operating system. It's
Yeah.
energy. And instead of dealing with products and widgets and systems that are mechanical systems, I'm dealing with human emotion. I'm dealing with mindset. Like it's an energy. It's still my whole focus in my degree was energy systems.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that it was going to move me in this way that says, how do we create that emotionality? And because it's the biggest piece, and it's why I'm feeling so called to do more around relational leadership, how we connect,
Yes. Yeah.
how we regulate our emotions, how we discharge the buildup of other people's drama. And because that for me is like, whether it's business owners, whether it's corporate or it's parents raising the next generation of leaders,
Yeah.
and even raising them, creating environments where they feel supported because they already have the codes.
Right.
That is becoming such a like due north that it's leadership, but from how we connect and how we create that emotional. And I like to say it's not a return. It's not about a return on investment anymore. It's around a return on that emotional, like investment. It's more of an EQ. It's more of a return on engagement, return on connection, return on those things that are what's cracking open right now.
Absolutely. And I can totally see you doing things with family. I can totally see you
Been
doing it.
really playing on my heart.
Yeah, like for real. And the thing is you can enter it through the leadership lens, right? Like cuz I always say we are all leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are all leaders, and whether you're leading your life, you're leading yourself, you're leading your family, you're leading your church choir. Like we are all leaders. I happen to work very much always going back to the business space, even though I did my foray. My work was birthed through the family, like because of what was
I'm feeling kind of a
happening.
shift
Oh,
because my birth through business. And when I look at my why I started to, it literally my deepest why was I wanted to repair the relationship between fathers and daughters because of how. And when I looked at his military background and business, I'm like, we're bringing additional conditioning in that is disrupting our ability to really bring our gifts to life. And coaching and consulting would look so different if we could address this
oh, absolutely.
in the development years and allow our children to have the freedom. I had a 17-year-old I did a human design report for. Now, mind you, it's someone we know in the Dames, their son, who, so of course, very expansive. My
Yeah.
blown away. And he sends me his writings, and I'm like, this is the next, this is leadership that's
Oh,
coming.
100%.
And
Yeah.
it's juicy, and we need to learn to listen.
Yeah.
We need to learn to invite it in. And if I can help crack that open, now business changes 20%.
100%, 100%. And I'm just, I'm getting chills to the core of my bones right now because, for me, it was a family experience of my son that led me on my intuitive path, that led me on to say no to traditional business ultimately. But it was a 10-year odyssey of like, what am I doing? I wrote children's books. I was doing all this stuff with blog with the children and all the things to give this space. And I always say to everybody, it's about the soul because I do many child readings because it's part of the container. When you come into my one-on-one space, you get all the things. Like I tease everybody, like you get everything you could ever want. Your partner could sit there, your children could sit there, you could be the one representing them, grandchildren, whatever. You're right. The star charts, they're coming in right now, next level. And I have been able to do a lot of work with my leaders, but again, I'm business first and then I'm family second because that is going to feed you from that personal perspective. Your core is going to be full when you can make sure that you and your family, especially as a mother or father, are all set, in whatever way. And I've been conveying messages from children for years.
It's fascinating when you really, and I would imagine you see similar things I do when you're looking at their chart and you're really, because it is an entirely different coding and system. And like, I'm like, when Whitney said, the children are our future, she was not joking.
Oh, exactly, right? Like, exactly. I mean, 100%. And this is where it's supposed to be, right? Like this is how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be the arrows that propel our children and the next generation forward. When I look at future leaders, we're talking very pragmatically about that. But even in leadership itself, right, right now in the world, we can see the deterioration of it. We can see the dismantling of it. We can see the inappropriate like authority not matching responsibility, right? Like, but that's through the adult lens. We can start. Oh, Candy, I this is a hells to the yes for you. Like this is that
So
hells to the yes.
I have so much chills.
I mean, because I literally wrote, and you heard Candy say this, that um, getting soul bondedness in mature ways. My words, no.
Oh, I love that. I might have to borrow that.
Yo, this is yours. This is all your wording. Forgoing the indulgence of family ties is something I wrote, and I was like, how am I going to convey this to Candy? And then I wrote sovereignty, freedom, power, authority, soul aligned, personified in relationship to others. Those are the words that I wrote when I was channeling.
I feel all of that because one of the things I've come to learn in my design is that redefinition of power. There is no power over. We're living in an illusion that we think power is anything else. Power is and I do a lot of study in the Tao as well. And I love that the energetic sort of container of the Tao is when we learn to govern ourselves, there is no need for governance. Like it's when I take me hard stop, all is taken care of. And this opportunity to stand in sovereignty. And I think a lot of people don't really understand what that means.
No,
But
we've never done it.
because a lot of us are here to disrupt. A lot of us are here to break down. And in fact, I had a conversation yesterday with a manifestor who's been playing so small. She has stage 4 cancer in her body. And she wrote, this just literally saved my life because I knew some of these things that have it. And talking with Candy and seeing it in my chart, I can already feel how this is extending and saving my life because I need to stand in a space where I get my power and power is only within and with.
Yeah.
It is never an that's not even real.
100%.
So to bring people back into a space that says, ooh, and sometimes, and I love you do this sometimes too. It's like, can you feel that? That's just feel that breath, feel that heartbeat, feel that's your truth.
Exactly.
This is just
Yeah.
being plugged into some matrix.
But it's all consuming, right? Because think about the information overload and think about the pace of things. And I hate to be the bearer of we have not seen the pace yet. I know I hate to have to say,
I see it too. And I warn people, I'm like, I'm just telling you, buckle up, buttercup.
yeah, 100%.
This is the time cannot stress enough, especially because we're moving out of Taurus. But I'm like, we need to stabilize. We need to ground. And that means you individually needs to learn your own ways to get. So otherwise, you're already in a wobble, man. When this thing picks up, you're going to get thrown like a
I know.
like
I
beanbag
know.
tossed all over the place.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I wrote my book, right? Because I'm like, how can I? Because my work affects many through the ripple effect, because I work with leaders. And so there's a rippling effect out from that. And I adore that. Oh my God. I love that. It took me a while to come to that to be, because I was having lots of groups and I was doing that one direct from me to those people. And I was like, no, this isn't the way it wants to come through. It's one to many, but it's in a different way. Great. Shifted, really, really came with that sacred container of the one-on-one in my Rich and Powerful Leaders program. Beautiful.
Yep.
And yet this time is here. And I'm like, holy crap, like the book that came through and channeled, like I literally thanked the book energy. I named it. I named my book. I like in acknowledgments of thanking it. Like it's just, I'm bowing to that beauty of it, because what came through was this is the availability of people to pick up something. What's more grounded than having a book in front of you, reading it, taking notes, journaling. I have reflection prompts at the end of every chapter. You know what I mean? It's all based on your signature. So we're rearing your energy. I talk about the feminine, the masculine, all the things. But one of the things is the book came through and was like, "Oh, no, 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 I'm not a book."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Are you," and then I go in meditation. I'm like, "Are you a portal?" "Nope." I'm like, "Oh," now I'm trying to get a little bit like, because I'm like, legit, guys, it's kind of like freaky, right? You're talking to the book, right? Like, you're like, but what are you? And then, and of course, your mind goes, well, are you a book series, you're a workbook, like you're a program, like, and the book is like, stop talking, like you, like, just stop talking. You have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm like, you shut up, like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything right now, right? And then portal. And I felt a little smugness on that. I'm like, look at how smart I am. Like it's a portal. The book was like, pshaw. And I'm like, well, then are you a movement? No. The book is an evolution itself.
I love that. I love that so much because I had the same download when I was like, "Oh, I'm here to create a leadership movement," and all of it said, "No." And I'm like, "So it's a," and I got the same, "Will you stop talking? Just stop." And then I was like, "Oh, it's a reckoning in revolution." Like, it's
Yeah.
reckoning, because I love that word, and I'm like, "Oh, that word just whoa." And it's a revolution. It's not a movement.
Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh." Oh, those are 2 entirely different fields of energy, but it was that same thing that was like,
Oh, yeah, because now you have to swallow it, right? Like, that's the thing. So, like, intuition is like AI. I did a podcast on that. If they're so different, they're so different. Your intuition is wise.
do it.
Your intuition is wise. It's soul-based. It's for your own good. It has your best interest at heart. AI is whatever you've asked it, right? So, like, they're not equal in that way, but they're equal in the way that it gives you back something that you're not quite ready for. You know? That's the way that they're alike, and you have to sit with it. Like, I can tell somebody who's like, went into AI, did these things, and when I'm like, "Oh, they're not wearing it at all." Right?
Oh, no, I had
Yeah.
it helped me come out of a spiritual closet because when I shared with it, it came back and I did. I was like,
Yeah, you walk away. You're like, "I'm not."
played back and reflected. It's all my stuff. And I literally had one of my friends here. I started crying. She goes, "There it is."
Yeah.
I like started, I'm like, I've never felt more seen. And at the same time, holy shit, I'm scared to like, that's not small. Like every time something shows up, I swear, and I feel like the universe sometimes is like, you're so cute. Like
Yeah.
you're 50, almost 52 years old. Don't you think at this point you've realized you did not sign up for small? So the
Then
fact there's a conversation you have at all anymore is kind of ridiculous.
100%, 100%. And I'm just mindful of time because we're gonna wrap up here in a minute. And just like what we wanna round out with is that it's a big time. Every single person is intuitive.
100%.
Right? It's the time of your soul and intuition. And we have tools that are available to us, whether it's human design, whether it's astrology, whether it's the runes, whether it's oracle cards, whether it's yoga, like whatever you're finding and feeling that feels really good for you, go for it.
Mhm.
Right? But to both of what we were saying about sovereignty, with discernment, with
Yeah.
rightness for you, let your body speak too, because you know whether this is your path,
Yep.
whether this is something for you. I mean, and I always say, if you know it's your true life purpose, if it scares the crap out of you.
100%. Because even like waking up now, I'm kind of like, what are you going to put in front of me that scares the crap out of me? Because it's
100%.
kind of like, all right, how may I serve? And I am just an open vessel. And then I'm like, ooh, sometimes I really wonder why I asked that question. All right, let's do this, right?
100%.
I do feel like we're standing on the edge of the diving board, and the universe is like, and I feel like this is really going to happen July to the end of the year, but particularly October through the end of the year, where the universe is like, I'm not asking you again.
Yeah.
Oh, you're ready. And you know how to swim, even if you forgot. And I'm going to push you in. And if you got to suck down a gallon of water because your mouth is open in protest on the way down, suck the water down as you're going in. Like, I feel like my soul is standing there going, buckle up, buttercup, because I'm going to push you in. You can either keep your mouth agape and be like, work it all in while you go under, or you can close your mouth and trust the process and know that you know how to swim.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. We're ending on that note, my friend. We're gonna end on that note because I want people to know how to find you. So tell what's the best place for people to find you?
I would say it's 2 places, either my website directly, candybarone.com, and it's literally spelled Candy Bar One. I can't make that stuff up. Or find me on LinkedIn, same thing, Candy Barone. Those are the places where you're going to find the most value for what I share. I put a lot of free resources out there. I have a lot of ways that you can tap into this work without a huge investment. So
Yeah, which I love. And I know you have a human design chart right on your website, which is beautiful. It's free. People can go
get a
there,
free
which is
support. You can do all the things. Yeah.
yeah, which is amazing, which is amazing. So I simply adore you.
Oh, likewise. I love you so much.
And thank you so much for being here, doing this work, doing these things, saying yes. Because the more you say yes, the more other people can say yes. Right?
Well, thank you. And thank you for the gift of your brilliance in speaking to my stars and listening and bringing that back. That's just, I'm so lit up right now. My whole body.
Yay, 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 yay. So I'll properly close. Everybody knows that the new era is here. My book, The New Era Millionaire, is out. It's the uncharted success of the visionary rebel. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on my website. I'm doing a author circle with it. I've got a 6-week accelerator with it. There's really beautiful things that are here to give you that launching pad that you're looking for on one hand, or tucking you in and holding space for you on the other. So, as always, thank you so much for listening and sharing with friends. And until next time, happy soul tidings. You've been listening to the Strategic Oracle, where success isn't scaled from speed, but from soul. If this stirred something real, follow it. Apply for activation, enter the vault, or pause right here. Integration is leadership too. Because the truth is, you were never meant to chase the timing. You are meant to become it.